What's up, everybody? This is Titans of CNC, and welcome to the BOOMBASTIC show. Day number 3, episode number 9, and the technology just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Today, we're gonna go beast mode on the NHM 6300 horizontal. We're gonna talk about the technology. We're gonna talk about automation. We're gonna talk about like a beast machine. This thing is like a house right here. And I'm excited because this is my world, and I love this world right here. And we got a special guest we're gonna bring in to help me describe this machine, and then we're gonna have a crazy CNC machining demo, big old titanium piece, an aerospace rib. We're gonna start hogging this thing out, and it's gonna be awesome. But before we get started, I wanna say, hey, everybody tuning in, thank you so much. And yesterday, because of everybody who's tuning in and you guys following the rules for the giveaways, we got a big giveaway, and we're gonna give away right now to one of you guys. So Dave, can you please come in?
Hey, everybody. All right, welcome back for day 3. It's the start of day 3, episode 9, and that's kind of crazy to me, but episode 9, we're almost to halfway, and we're doing the giveaway. So we showed you guys a little bit yesterday what the giveaway is. This is kind of our biggest swag bag of the event so far. And I want you guys to look at this stuff, right? We got TMS titanium coming through with the hat, the stunner shades you can actually see through. We got Doosan with the mask and the shirt, a couple Titans of CNC shirts, Ellison giving a hat, Michitoyo with the power bank, incredible stuff. We've got a little blazer can and some safety glasses. Kennametal threw some stuff in. Mastercam's got some magnets and a mouse pad for you. And so we asked you guys to tag a friend and like and share and all that kind of stuff. And so the person who won this, and I want you guys to give me a drum roll at home, all right? All right, I'm ready. Here we go. The winner of this swag bag is Cisco Hernandez, and he tagged in Michelle Murrieta. You guys are both taking a swag bag home. And this is just like visiting like 6 of the top booths at IMTS, at those other trade shows, but you're getting all this stuff for free. It's gonna come right in your mail, and you're gonna grab this stuff, and we want to see you guys wearing this stuff proudly. All right, so the other thing I want to remind you guys of, and you've been doing a great job of it already, is you can get all of our swag, all the Titans of CNC Academy swag, all that kind of stuff on store.titansofcnc.com. And we're doing our own promo too. You can get 25% off anything in the store during our event using the code BOOM at checkout. I mean, what other code were we gonna use? Come on, right? Really. Code BOOM, 25% off, store.titansofcnc.com. And I'm gonna throw it back over to my man, Titan, and he's gonna go ahead and keep us going on this demo. All right, guys.
My man, thank you, Dave. So, boom, congratulations to the winners of this massive package right here. And I wanna remind everybody, you know, why are we actually doing the BOOMBASTIC show? We're doing the BOOMBASTIC show for you guys, for our industry, because we love you. We are not having the conventions, right? And we've been locked down, and a lot of us have suffered, and shops have suffered, and yet now it's breaking loose, and opportunities are coming back, and people want to reshore parts. So all of a sudden, we have an opportunity here, but, you know, opportunities cost money sometimes. So we, Titans of CNC, went to our partners and said, hey, you guys are amazing. You have amazing products. So how about you guys come in and actually give an insane deal this time only? And our partners delivered Doosan 25 to 30% off. Boom, that's crazy. Kennametal, crazy deals. Mastercam, 20% off. And all of our partners from Blazer and Michitoyo, up to 30% off on different inspection tools. Heimer, everybody's in on it. And all you need to do is go down to titansofcnc.com/promo, and you'll see all of our partners, and you'll see the incredible deals that they're giving. So go check it out. It is absolutely amazing. It's for this week, and it's high-end stuff. Now, getting back to machining. Oh, this is a beast right here. NHM 6300, huge horizontal. You know, we started off like coming into this trade with the cameras to make a difference. Nobody's talking about manufacturing. There's no drama in it, so you're not seeing it, you know, in the media. You know, teachers don't understand it, parents don't understand it, kids don't even know about it. So like, let's bring awareness to this trade, you know? People go through the malls and pick up stuff and they think made in China is normal, right? And it's not normal. We need to manufacture in our own countries so we can give opportunities to our own people. And if you're in the UK, Australia, Brazil, or China, you need to make your own parts over there. So, you know, more power to you if you build that manufacturing platform. For us, we need to give our kids and our workers great opportunities. And with that, we have to understand technology. We need to understand the machines that are out there. When people talk about one person and how much we make per hour compared to somebody in another country that might only make a few dollars an hour, they automatically think we can't compete. But that is so far from the truth, because it's all about automation. It's about your intellect. It's about figuring out problems and solving those problems. And this horizontal is one of the reasons we can compete with anybody, outcompete anybody in the world, because these machines line up. And what we do is we have a picture inside. We're ready to actually machine, but we have a tombstone. It's called a tombstone, okay? And this tombstone, you basically put your work. So when you put a vise on a regular table, now we're flipping it up. We're putting it on a tombstone, and the tombstone's on a pallet, and the tombstone can actually rotate 360 degrees. So you can actually, now we call it horizontal, because instead of a vertical, we're horizontal. We're machining the part. The chips fall away to the bottom of the machine, which is great for lights out machining, right? And then it can rotate in a fourth axis, so you can hit the sides, you can hit angles, boom. And then the tombstone is on a pallet. The pallet is in here. We can change the tombstone, the parts on the tombstone and the pallet through this door, while another pallet is inside the machine, actually getting machined, so the machine never stops. And then what they do is they have railroads that bring pallets into the machine, so you could have 120 or more pallets all set up, tombstones, different jobs that all run automatic. And all of a sudden, an employee is just making sure the tools are good, making sure that everything is done, bringing the inspection to the machine, making sure that the process, everything's coming out absolutely perfect. But the machine never stops, and that's how you compete. So I'm excited. Today, we're gonna show this machine machining 6L4V titanium, crazy aerospace rib. It's gonna be awesome. But before I get to that, I wanna bring in a good friend of mine, Mr. Tony Burns. Boom, what's up, Tony? Go ahead and come in.
Thank you. Boom.
Boom. Hey, so first off, I just want to say, like, salt of the earth, greatest people in the world in this industry. And when you're in this industry and you go to these conventions and you go to, you know, different dinners and you meet people and things, you realize, man, we're all doing community together. And one of the gentlemen that I love, like, being able to talk to, and I love when sometimes I have questions about machines, and he'll send me like a little video and he'll be like, Titan, this is the technology, boom, 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 because I want to make sure I give you guys the right answer. So I lean on Tony sometimes, and I thought, hey, let's get Tony on this machine. I'm going to step away. He's going to talk about the machine, the technology, and why it's important for our country to have machines like this.
Great. Boy, right. I agree with everything you said there. Thank you for those nice compliments for me. That is just amazing. Well, hey, thank you. My name is Tony Burns. I've been in this for 25 years. I've been in this industry, and I absolutely love it. It means so much to me, making, just helping U.S. manufacturers. Titan asked me to talk a little about this machine and some of the specs and some of the data about it, if you will, right? He uses the word to describe a lot of Doosan machines. He uses this word beast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of the data behind what beast is in this NHM 6300. This Doosan makes two platforms on horizontals. They make a boxed way and they make a roller guided machine. This one that we're looking at here today is a boxed way machine. So, hey man, why would I buy a boxed way machine, Tony? Well, that's going to depend on the material that you're cutting. And that's going to also include maybe on your methodology. So a boxed weigh machine, remember I was going to tell you a little bit about the data. A boxed weigh machine is typically heavier. This machine weighs nearly 50,000 pounds, right? So if you're doing some of that heavy material removal on some of that hard material or interrupted cuts on cast iron, that boxed weigh, when that tool's in there, it's gonna absorb some of those cutting pressures that are happening on the material, right? So that's exciting because you want this asset that doesn't come cheap to last a long time. And if those box weighs help absorb some of those cutting pressures, they're gonna save bearings, they're gonna save spindles, but it's also gonna allow you to go deeper and harder and faster. So that's the big benefit of the NHM series, is the boxed weigh design. I think every shop that does tough materials should consider a boxed weigh machine in there. So let me take you a couple other things. It has a huge envelope, right? The turning diameter on this is 41 inches. Now, I'm 6'1". The maximum height that you can put on this machine is 51 inches. That's a pretty good distance on the number of parts. Remember how Titan talked about stacking parts on a tombstone? Well, now I got 51 inches that I can stack parts up on a tombstone, right? Really, so a lot of room there. But if I have more parts in the machine, I need more things. I need more tools. This machine, right out of the box, has 90 tools. But if I want to start getting to that automation world, I can get up to 376 50 taper tools on this machine. That's a lot. So that starts doing that whole library of parts that you have, that you've quoted, that you've gotten the jobs for, that you can start machining on, right? So that's a lot of tools. This machine here has 2 pallets. And Titan talked about, you know, one of the big advantages here is that we're cutting inside and we're unloading here. But I'm gonna talk about one other big thing. We're gonna see a tombstone here, right? And a lot of times we compare horizontal machining centers to vertical machining centers on efficiency, right? If I was to take that 41 inch by 51 inch tombstone and I had 4 sides to it and I started to unfold it, right? I multiply that to the surface area that now that I have that I can start putting parts on is so much larger than a vertical machining center. So what happens when I can get more parts on there? That means I can run the machine longer, try to get some of that unattended, right? Try to get with lights out if we can. Try to get it without the labor, as much of the labor component cost to it. So that's some of the huge advantages of the tombstones, is I've got more surface area on this thing. And horizontals bring us that advantage, right? Because they have the option of getting more tools. Here's another thing, and I don't know if we've talked about it with other machines, it has a big plus spindle. So not only do I have a lot of torque, and by the way, the torque on this at 230 RPM is almost 50 horsepower. It has nearly 800 pounds of torque. Those are some pretty impressive numbers when you're trying to run you're gonna have a lot of confidence when you're trying to run those high feeds and speeds on this. So remember those numbers, nearly 50 horsepower and a lot of torque, okay? Some other things, I wanted to go back to the big plus spindle on this. So not only do I have all that torque, but now I have the big plus spindle. So I have the flange and the taper contact. So as I'm going across like maybe an end mill, right? Or a face mill, I'm gonna have less vibration in that tool. So those are just a few of the advantages that the NHM has. So sounds like Tyson wants to come in here and take it away.
How are you, man? Hey,
I'm excited.
Amazing,
I love this
Tony
stuff.
Burns. Yeah. Hey, you know, we're talking about the big plus. You know, it's a dual contact, and it allows us to go beast mode on it, and that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm excited because we have Stuart, and we saw Stuart on the 5-axis, and now he's helping me on this machine right here. So I programmed this rib over the last couple days, and it's going to be pretty crazy. And we're using the Harvey TE in a Kennametal dual contact. As Tony mentioned, not only 50 taper, but you have a flange that comes up just to keep everything super rigid. We're using a Harvey TE from Kennametal. This is a end mill that is for super alloys, it's for steel, and you can ramp in at 45 degrees. But we're live on TV, and I thought, you know what? Let's go all the way to the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the face of the titanium, 604B, nice, thick, big piece. And we're just gonna take this end mill, 3/4 inch, and it has a flute length of 1.5. We're actually gonna drop down helical into the material 1.5 inches. Most people just pre-drill and then go with a flat bottom so you can bring an end mill in to start working. We're taking the end mill because of the technology, and we're gonna helical in, and then when we get to the bottom, we're gonna take a massive cut. So with a 3/4 inch, we're going full depth, 200 thousandths, almost a third into the material, and we're just gonna start eating that titanium and just knocking out these pockets. It's gonna be awesome. You ready for this?
Wow.
It's gonna be good, it's gonna be good. When it's running, I'll talk about the surface foot, the chip load, and then in the next episode, we're gonna actually talk about, the strategy on programming it and, just what we do to be successful when machining crazy parts. So I'm gonna walk around the side of this. I'm gonna go see my boy Stuart, and we're gonna start this machine.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, brother?
Good. Ready?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's go.
On the first one, I might just put it down a little bit. Let's listen with our ears.
All righty.
So you can see right now, it's dropping down. It's already 200 thousandths, 1/4 inch into the material, straight in. It's at about 1/2 inch right now. So you gotta think, bare surface titanium, the end mill, the Harvey TE, is just helicaling in, going straight into the titanium. The surface foot is about 205 on that surface foot. Once it gets to the bottom, it'll just start eating that titanium right there. Of course, we got to use the Synergy 735 from Blaser. We run a lot of things dry for the cameras, right? But at the end of the day, when it comes to titanium, it comes to super alloys, you got to have that Synergy 735 on there, because otherwise you're gonna have a ball of fire in that end mill right there. Machining titanium is no joke. Oh, we're almost to 1.5, so we're all the way down. Yeah. For the first couple cuts, it's just, it's gonna do this little helical. So what it's actually did, it actually reached 1.5 inches, and it does this tiny, it kind of like comes up because I switch the RPM. So instead of switching in the cut, it actually does this little loop and kind of like pops back up, and then it comes back into the material, which is what it's doing right now. It's going to hit that material just because. We'll go ahead and back it off. You'll see it drop right back down pretty soon. When machining titanium, when machining super alloys, when machining anything, it's a lot about your mind. It's about, looking at the part and understanding how hard that material is, what it's made of, having the proper tool, you know, and then coming into that material is very important. Sometimes I talk about, you know, end mills, and I talk about like, hey, it's like walking into the ocean, right? There's parallels in it, because what we want to do is we want to walk into the ocean gradually. We don't want to jump off the dock and pound that water, right? So a lot of people might machine and actually come in at a 90-degree, boom, and hit that pressure right there, like boom. And you can break tools, damage tools, and you're not gonna have success. What you wanna do, instead of going off the dock and boom, you actually wanna come from the side and you just wanna ramp in. And it's all about ears, and I can hear that now. All of a sudden it's like right there, and I can hear that cut right there. Even though the coolant's on, I don't even have to look at that machine, and I can know exactly what it's doing right at this very second. So think about that. 200 thousandths radial on a 3/4 inch in 60L4B titanium, all the way down, axial all the way down, right? All the way down. It's a beast mode. And we walked all the way to the bottom, helicling with that tool. Absolutely amazing. Again, the TE can drop down at a 45-degree, just boom, all the way down. As with the other videos, machines and projects, we're gonna actually put everything on YouTube. We're gonna give you speeds, feeds, we're gonna give you our setup sheets, we're gonna give you everything so you can actually take the models and duplicate the process. So between YouTube and our academy, you have all the information, and therefore when you go quote a job for a big aerospace company or any company, you can actually repeat the process. Just look at exactly what we did, and that's money right there. No problem. Butter.
Butter.
All right, so I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I didn't want to say anything, but we were very cautious. You know why we're very cautious? Because this is the first part that we're actually running of this particular part. So we dry ran it, we made sure everything was good. I have experience in this. I knew the speeds and feeds were on point, right? They were on point, and I got confidence in that. So what do we have to do? We got to make sure that the tool is secured in the hydroforce, right? And we got to make sure that all the variables are dialed, right? But at the end of the day, it was like, hey, let's tiptoe a little bit, because with this cutter, I have never actually ramped in there. That is my first time with such a big tool going straight into the material. It's new technology, so, you know, I've shown it on some different applications, but not quite like this and that deep. So we were successful, and I'm glad that we pulled the trigger. We almost pushed it back, but we just made it happen. Hoping the cameras are picking up that rumble right there, that sound. It sounds so good. At this point, like if you hear it like kind of screaming, like, ah, then all of a sudden you understand as the machinist, like, hey, you got to put a little bit more pressure on that. You know, you got to put a little bit more pressure on it and things. And it's funny because people, you see coolant on it and stuff, but you can know how the machine is running by just putting your hand on it. You know, that's that experience. And I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about all machinists. It's an art, machining. Like, you hear it, you feel it, and you just know, like, oh, that's like a beautiful cut. So the part is beast, right? It's over 2 feet. It's a big old piece, and 3 inches thick, and 7 inch by 7 inches. And what we have is we actually have a bunch of thin walls going around, and we got these pockets. So what I did was actually program, I came with a Dodeca face mill, faced it, and prepared it. And then we're coming in with a Harvey 1 TE. We're dropping into the pockets, with that tool so we don't have to pre-drill it. And then we're doing a big step over to actually get after it. Now, it's, see that? Even Michelle, like your heart actually starts like skipping a beat right there, but it's all good, it's all good. Just live in front of the entire world, doing crazy stuff with crazy machines, but that's what we said, and that's why we call it BOOMBASTIC, and that's why a lot of other people won't go live on this kind of stuff, because things can happen. But you just gotta dial in those variables, you gotta make sure everything's good, right? Woo, you see that? You hear that? You hear that? So anyway, I love this trade-in because of moments like this. It just gets me so excited. So one of the things we're gonna do is we're doing the pockets, boom, 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 with the Harvey 1 TE. And then we have to rough the entire outside. So when we rough the outside, I'm gonna come in with a Harvey 3. Now, the TE has 4 flutes, and it can take a huge cut. The Harvey 3 actually has 6 flutes. So we take a smaller radial, but what we do is, instead of 205 on the surface foot, we're gonna go up to 400, right? 450 on the surface foot. We're gonna take a smaller radial, like a 10%, but because of the surface foot and because of the chip load, like we say chip load per tooth, and there's 5 teeth, the chip load is gonna go from like 0.0025 with the TE to 0.0047, and then at 4.7, it's just gonna speed everything up, and because you have 5 flutes calculated, it's just gonna run. And so we're gonna be running much faster on the second episode today. Just talking a little bit about strategy and how we're doing it.
It's the second pocket.
It's the second pocket?
Yep.
When that second pocket is done, when you see it pull out,
Yep.
pull out and just stop.
Sure.
I wanna look at it.
Yeah.
I want the cameras to see what we actually did there, because
Pretty cool.
I think the cameras probably can see the pocket right now inside there. You can see one, like, and then it's starting on the next episode, we'll actually show you the pockets, how big they are and everything. Sorry we can't turn the coolant off, but the coolant, it's a liquid tool. It's incredibly important when you're cutting like super alloys and titaniums and cutting anything really. Like it adds life to the tools. We spend all that money on the tools, you gotta have the coolant to actually prolong that life. A lot of people don't think about that. They think about the cost of coolant, but when you're spending the money on the tools, you gotta get that life to last and stuff, so it's all good. Another thing I'll say is the Harvey 1 TE, as you guys just saw, and you'll see in the second episode, crazy in titanium. Harvey 3, the Core 5 in aluminum. Kennametal is doing an insane deal on these tools. Like, I personally went to the leadership of Kennametal and I said, hey, there's a whole bunch of like machinists out there that don't understand the back-end discounts. They don't understand this. They're working out of their garages, but they all deserve to run the tools that the biggest and best companies in the world use, the best tools in the world. Like, we need to do an incredible deal to actually pull back that price so everybody can afford it. So now you can get these standard tools. And when I say standard, I mean like, you know, the Core 5, everything aluminum, get whatever diameter, and every time you rough or finish, it's a finisher too, you run that tool. When it comes to the TE, anytime you're slotting, anytime you're like taking big cuts with the corner of the tool, it's a 4 flute and it's just beast, right? Anytime you're peripheral milling with those Mastercam crazy OptiRough programs. It's the Harvey 3. And all of these tools right now, all of these tools are $41. They start at $41. You can go to titansofcnc.com/promo. You can get down in there and you can actually look at all the promos. Go into Kennametal and you can get those deals. Anybody can get those deals. They made it super easy. And again, the machine 25 to 30% off. And I wanna like let everybody know. You hear that rumble? Like, that's the machine working. But if you didn't have good work holding in that machine, that rumble would sound much different. It would be a vibration, not a rumble, right? And a vibration would be caused because your work holding sucked, straight up. So what do we use on a beast machine? We use shunt tombstones, period. And I'll say, like, there's been people that have tried, a lot of people try to give us their tombstones. A lot of people try to do different things and stuff, and it's not about the money. Nobody's gonna like pay me to use their stuff and say you have to. We chose shunt because those tombstones are the very best. They're rigid, and we wanna have success when teaching this trade. And shunt also has incredible pricing down in our promo section of our website. Oh. Sounds good. Sounds good, huh, Tony? Tony, come in the camera, Tony.
All right.
Come on in the camera.
All righty. We're back.
At the end of the day, it's the ears, right?
Well, you know, when you were talking about the shows, you know, the IMTS shows, and when somebody, like our customers would stop by, the first thing they do is they do this.
Yeah.
They hear that cut, because they're really trying to sense that vibration, right?
Yeah.
They're really trying to find out if it's, hey, is what you're telling me, Mr. Salesman, what I'm feeling?
Yeah.
And you feel it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not sensing that, like, beating up the machine. So it feels really good. I mean, I love that part
And it just
of
sounds good.
Yeah. You
It
know,
sounds good.
Right.
Like the ears, like you just like, oh. But when it gets a little bit, like it didn't. But you know what I'm talking about when you skip that heartbeat a little bit.
Yeah,
You know what
I mean,
Like,
you mentioned how people, you know, I've been in shops where owners kind of like, their heads turn, right?
yeah. Owners know that. That is like a thing in here, in this industry. So I'm not Superman, but I'm telling you, I have leaped over crazy like desks to get to a machine where an operator, when a part was like boom, 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 and an operator was like this, you know what I mean? Like I've like literally leaped higher than I've ever leaped in the history of the world to get to that machine in a split second, because you just know that sound. And I know you owners and leaders and machinists, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But just to talk about that sound too, I mean, that's what, when you're running new jobs, big jobs, we always went for crazy aerospace jobs. You know, I just love the fact that, hey, you've never made this part before, and we're gonna get in there, we're gonna do everything right. All the variables have to be perfected, and then you're doing it, and you just have this thing in your heart. It's like you're a race car driver, right? And you're just like, okay, oh, that was great. Oh, that was great. And you wanna keep pushing it so you can make that money. Talking a little bit right now because I'm trying to get to the end of the next pocket because I want to show you guys the pocket. They're almost
in there.
You can also, like, when it does one of the air moves, just stop it right there and then turn off the coolant.
We can do that.
And then you can see how deep it is.
Yeah.
You see my the Z when I come in on that Mastercam path, when it comes back, it back feeds to get that another cut. I actually raise it up about 10 thousandths just so I don't scrape that surface. So as the code, can we move it so they can see the code right there? So as the code is moving, all of a sudden you'll see a Z movement, and the Z movement would trigger me to understand that's the back feed right there.
You know, Titan, you mind if I mention one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, right there.
You know, a lot of, you know, in our business, we don't talk about the words confidence or risk that much. We talk about the specs of the machine, how much they weigh, two-step gearbox. But when the operator has the confidence of knowing that the machine can do what the programmer said it could do, you can then push it to levels that you may have not been able to. It's like Titan was talking about the race driver coming around that corner at a fast speed. Well, he's got the confidence to know that he has the capability and he's got the wherewithal and the tool, the car, to get him around there. And I think the operators sense that with this machine because of, like we talked about, the heavy horsepower, the guideways, and the two-speed gearbox.
Yeah.
Confidence and risk. Confidence.
Tony was like, "Oh, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?" And I was like, just have confidence. You know the machine, baby. You know the machine, so just get on there and do your thing, and all good.
All right.
All good.
Good.
So as I had,
I'll just reset it so that way we can see.
You can actually see where the Z hit right there. Can you see where the Z hit? That's what I was saying as a machinist. I knew exactly where the program was, so I was saying as soon as you see a few Z moves, it'll actually come up off and that's the exact time to stop it right there. So he's going to actually reset it. Boom. Yeah, it was just we don't normally do that, but just for the cameras, we want to get in the machine real quick to show you guys what's up. Awesome. Maybe can the camera get kind of close in? Go take a look in there. Yeah. Go ahead and look, scan the whole thing, and then look at the two pockets.
Yeah.
And then scan across the entire thing. Maybe take a look at that tool.
Can you see the tool, guys?
The tool on the spindle. Can Jackie, maybe you can I want to point to it. I'm gonna get in there. Awesome. So we're going a little bit long on this episode, but this is important because we're not just having a big show and just trying to sell stuff. We're trying to give education. We're trying to bring skills and get people. You just have to see it. Machinists just have to see it to acknowledge it, and then they can do it if they have the right ingredients for all the variables, right? It's like baking a cake. You just have to know all the ingredients, exactly how much to put in to have success. So again, first thing you look at, you're looking at the tombstone from Shunk, just beast. And then I got the vices from Shunk on the tombstone. You can actually go on our YouTube channel and look up, and you can actually see where we actually show how to actually place those, how to drill the cast iron, thread mill it, all that. And then you see the material, huge piece of material, massive piece of material, two big pockets. I'm not sure how it looks on camera, but they're nice big pockets. And we did that live on camera. So we're gonna finish those pockets out, and then we're going to machine the outside and talk about the programming and the application on the second episode today. And that's just some crazy knowledge. So if you want to go work for these big companies, you want to do big things, we're teaching you what you need to know and talking about the philosophy of how to actually do it and be successful on these big jobs. Because we want you guys to rise up so that you guys can be pillars, so our companies can compete no matter where you are in the world. And with that, I'm gonna bring in Mr. Dave Cox. Sorry for going long, but it's awesome. I'm like a kid, so. Bro.
It's
Hey,
worth it, though.
we're bringing realness, though. We're bringing
right.
realness.
Absolutely. So today's was a little bit long, but man, wasn't that worth it? We're watching a monster machine take deep cuts in titanium. And speaking of titanium, let me talk to you guys for a second about TMS titanium, right? We really appreciate the partnership with TMS. As you guys know, that's an expensive material. You know, because when you buy it for a customer job, you're going, oh man, I got to make sure everything is perfect before I go ahead and cut into this titanium, because that's an expensive piece of scrap if it goes, right? So TMS has actually done a great job helping us outfit these machines with titanium. And right now, you guys can go to their site, store.tmstitanium.com. You're gonna put the code BOOMBASTIC in the order notes, and you're gonna get a free swag bag from those guys, all right? And that's pretty cool for them to do. I wanna remind you guys that we're talking about Doosan machine tools. We have a promo for the Americas, right? And so in the US, 25 to 30% off 65 or 65 plus models. That's horizontals. I mean, 25 to 30% off this beast, that's insane. It's not just like models that they found somewhere in a warehouse and said, oh crap, we forgot to sell these ones, let's put a discount on them. These are top sellers. This is stuff that's ready to ship, ready to go, and your vertical mills, horizontal mills, lathes, all that kind of stuff is on sale. And what you gotta do is go to titansfordoosan.com to check out the details on that promo. You're gonna fill out a little thing, and they're gonna get you all the details. Now the cool thing is when you fill out that form, you're also gonna be entered to win the free Gerstner, that free Gerstner toolbox. We're gonna show you that again a little bit later, but you can enter to win without buying a single thing, but also know that if you do buy a machine, you're getting a free Gerstner. We've already had a couple that are going out, right? So folks are buying machines during this event, and it's a big purchase, so make sure you're thinking through it, but 25 to 30% off is not gonna last forever, so it's the time to really put that serious thought into it and make those purchases. Let me talk to you for a second about Kennametal. So, you guys just saw the Harvey 1 TE. We've been talking about the Core 5. We've been talking about the Harvey 3. These are our shop standards. This is our go-tos for these types of materials. And Kennametal, like Titan said, he went to bat for everybody out there, and Kennametal stepped up big time. They're talking end mills at $41 and $56. So $41 for the 3/8, $56 for the 1/2 inch. And the whole purpose of this is to let you guys know who are out there saying, you know what, I've got these crazy jobs coming in, I'm kind of making it work with the tooling that I have, but I'm wondering, how can I get more efficient? I can't necessarily bite off a new machine right now. I don't know how to fix my process. What can I do to have my tooling last longer? This is the opportunity to try these tools out, right? That's a big part of our job costs a lot of times, is what are our consumables? How many tools are we gonna go through in the life cycle of this job that we're gonna run? And if I can go from using 30 tools during the life cycle or 300 tools down by 90%, that's gonna be huge in savings on my consumables cost. So make sure you're thinking about that kind of stuff when you're looking at these tools. So to get that Kennametal deal, go to titansofcnc.com/promo, and you're gonna go ahead and see all the details of that one. Like Titan said, rumble good, vibration bad. That's the big thing I took away from this one because I'm a simple guy. But rumble good, vibration bad. Rumble means the machine's working. Vibration means your work holding shaking a little bit, right? It's gonna let go of that material, which we don't want. So shunk is making sure that your material is always gonna stay in place, and they're doing their 20% off the Vero S and Contact packages and the THW Plus Chuck packages. So 20% off. The way you're gonna get that is, again, go to our site, right? We made this landing page just for you guys. Put everything in one single place. You don't have to remember a bunch of different web addresses. titansofcnc.com/promo is exactly where you're gonna get that. And in titanium, coolant, coolant, coolant. Blaser Swiss Lube has stepped up, right? They're giving you guys the free liquid tool analysis. They wanna earn your business by giving you value before you ever spend $1 with them. And I gotta be honest, I respect the hell out of that. Because most people come to your shop, especially coolant peddlers or folks like that, and they go, oh, we'd love to sell you some coolant. Oh, here's how we're better, here's how we're better. And they're gonna drop a big can of coolant off, and then they're gonna leave. Not Blaser. Blaser says, you know what? We wanna partner with you in your business. We wanna help you with your entire process of machining. We wanna make sure that you are equipped with the liquid tool to make sure your tools are lasting longer, your jobs are coming out better, And we want to make sure that you're not getting all that scum and all this stuff that goes in your coolant. Your guys aren't going home smelling like coolant with their skin breaking out. And they have all kinds of products. Obviously, we love the Synergy 735, but that liquid tool analysis is going to help you understand exactly what's right for your application. So not only you get that free, it's also 20% off of all their coolants, cutting oils, grinding oils, EDM oils, and 20% off cleaners and accessories. So they really stepped up big because they know everybody's hurting. We want to get you guys those deals. So next up, Titan's going to come in and let us know what's happening next. But I want you guys to know we're going to do another giveaway at the beginning of the next episode. So make sure you're tuned in. This is going to be a fun one. We're going to have multiple winners, and I think you guys are going to like it. So with that tease, I'm going to bring Titan back up. Tell us what's coming up next. All right, brother.
What's up, brother? Hey, one thing I want to say is, Dave, we were talking like on the comments in YouTube, like YouTube is actually watching this the day after. So we take everything, we package it, just because Facebook gives us a good a platform we can touch the most people live, but then we take it to YouTube, but we don't want to leave YouTube out. Can we do something special for YouTube? So maybe like we give, do something today, they have tomorrow to respond, and we give it back to them on Friday.
Yes, let's do how about this? We'll do the YouTube giveaway in episode 3 today. All right?
Awesome.
We'll talk about that. So
Boom.
make sure you're tuned in.
Yeah, so.
All right, brother.
All right, man. So everybody on YouTube, I watch, I look through everything. Even somebody who had a question about Blazer, you saw, I actually contacted Blazer, put him in with you guys. So know that your comments are being read by me first thing in the morning, going through everything. And thank you so much. Second episode of the day that is happening in just about an hour, a little over an hour from now. We're gonna go Harvey 3, and we're going to just get after it in this material. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna talk about strategy, we're gonna talk about the programming, Mastercam, and deals, and the journey continues. And then after that, I think that'll be like halfway point of this crazy marathon. I want to say, you guys saw all the deals, right? Crazy deals. I just want to say, Titans of CNC, we could have easily said, hey, we're taking 5% of everything that's made. We're taking whatever percent. We didn't do that. We want you guys to get the discount. We want all the discount to come to you. So we didn't ask for anything. We don't take a cut of the deals that you guys get. I just want you guys to know that we're doing this for the industry, we're doing it for you, and doing it just to do something bombastic and crazy. And I'll see you in the next episode. We're out. What's up, everybody? This is Titans of CNC, and we're at the Boombastic show. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna kind of slow it down a little bit. You know, we actually made a few adjustments today. And that's how you have to be, you know, when you're live, you just gotta like make a few adjustments because this is too important and this is awesome. The machine itself, NHM 6300, it's a beast of a machine. But what we're running in it, this massive piece of titanium, like you would never see that at one of these big conventions. And I thought, you know what, this is a great teaching moment because that's what it's about, right? We're here to teach the industry like how to do high-level things and let them wrap their heads around it so they can duplicate the process and then do it in their own shops to be pillars in their companies and just lift these machinists up and stuff. So high-level stuff. So we're gonna do it on this episode. We're gonna finish the pockets. The next episode, we're gonna actually profile all around the outside. And I thought, let's actually talk real quick about the tooling. So Stuart, what's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome, awesome. So maybe we can get the camera straight on the tools right here. Now, chips are important, and it's important to understand the tool. So this is the Harvey 1 TE. And it's a 4-flute, but if you actually look at the way the flutes are designed and gashed and everything, you can see why it can actually ramp at a 45-degree straight in to titanium and super alloys. So beautiful tool. One thing that I'll notice is on this particular tool, there's no chip splitters. So our chips are breaking away really nicely. They're a little long, but they're perfect. Beautiful chips coming off the titanium. Now, we're in our 4th pocket on this Aerospace rib, and we're gonna finish it, and we're gonna go to our 5th pocket in this episode. And then, I just wanna explain. Stuart, you can go ahead and get it ready to run. Then, it's all about the strategy, right? So this is the Harvey 3 TJDE, and those letters are very important. So the TJDE it's a 6 flute, but it's got chip splitters. So see these chip splitters right here? They're gonna break the chips up. So as we go around the outside, the chips are gonna be much smaller, so the evacuation is gonna be awesome. Usually, I wouldn't use the TE going full depth in these pockets, but since I had already ramped with the same tool, I took advantage of the tool being down there, and I actually cut the pocket with the TE so we didn't have to change tools, all right? But then we're gonna bring this bad boy in, and we're gonna go crazy fast, 400 surface foot, and it's gonna be amazing. So I just wanna let you guys know, there's different tools for different applications. This guy, if I ramp this guy, I'll ramp at maybe 2 to 4. I usually go about 2, right? It's got 6 flutes. But ramping with the TE is at 45 degrees, and that's why I used it inside the pockets, okay? So now, listening to our ears, right? I can hear that we are finishing up the 4th pocket. Then we're gonna go into the 5th pocket, and then we're gonna change tools to this guy right here. Live, baby. Like, you know, I wanna explain something. When we make videos and we show speeds and feeds and we show tools, the one thing that you can understand is that you can bank that information, you can document that information, and you can actually put it. I always tell young machinists, whenever you walk past a machine and you listen to it and you know that it's perfect, make sure that you're taking notes. Make sure that whether it's on your phone or in a notebook, ask the person running the machine, what is the material? What is the application? What tool are you using? What surface foot and chip load are you using? Which then calculates the RPMs and the inches per minute. We say inches per minute in machining. It's kind of like miles per hour, but it's inches per minute. So document all that and keep banking that information, because when you get a similar part, you don't have to guess or reinvent the wheel. You can go back to the documentation and say, hey, this tool is money. These speeds and feeds are money. And you can duplicate the process. So if you go into our Aerospace Academy, aerospaceacademy.com, understand that that's money right there. When we show you the tools, the application, the speeds and feeds, chip load, surface foot, and show you all of it, and we show you in a video success, understand, we are not here to try to sell you on something that's make-believe. We're here to give you the ingredients to the process, and that's money right there. So, cutting. So when you look at this guy right here, we're gonna spend some extra time on it so you can see it cutting. We're gonna talk about the speeds, the feeds, the chip loads. As mentioned before, right now, I'm using the Harvey 1 TE. Stuart, my man, is running this machine, and we're at 205 surface foot. Our chip load is 0.0025, and that is taking a cut of 200 thousandths. Full depth at 1.5, axial, radial, 0.200, big cut, big cut. And listen to how it sounds, man. Oh, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. You guys running titanium, that's money right there. Document that, duplicate the process, make sure that you got the right coolant, right? It's the ingredients to the cake. Make sure you have the right coolant, right? We're using Synergy 735, but based on your application and material, you might use a different coolant. But this is what we love, and we love that it's clear and you can see it and it saves on tool life. We're also using the shunt, the pallet here, and this actually it's a pallet, but it's a tombstone on top of the pallet that is from Shunk, and this thing is a beast, and we got Shunk vices on there. Absolutely amazing. Our tool holders are from Kennametal, and the tool holders are dual contact 50 taper holders. And this machine, while we're taking these big cuts, the pressure on that spindle, like it's nothing. Like it's handling it like nothing. There's that rumble again. You hear that rumble? That's good. Shatter, that's bad. That's good. It's all about the ears and stuff. So at this time, I thought, actually before I bring somebody in, I just want to remind everybody, the industry has been shut down, right? Conventions have been shut down. We went to our partners, asked for crazy deals, and they delivered in a huge way. Doosan, 25 to 30% off, 65 different types of machines from Doosan. That's huge, because as things break loose and you're already gonna buy machines, you can save huge money. 25% off is a massive discount. And Kennametal, like these tools we're using right here that you see are money. These tools are starting at $41, $41. Shunk has deals, Heimer has deals, Machitoyo has deals, Mastercam 20% off. That is the program that I use to program this. That's a program that you saw yesterday Stuart used on the 5-axis, and that's the program on the 9-axis that Tyson used on day 1. Crazy. Go down to titansofcnc.com/promo and check out all those amazing deals. We're not taking a single cut. It's all about you guys getting the best deal. We're just here to put on the Boombastic show and have some fun. And I was explaining to somebody, they're like, man, like 20 episodes in 1 week, like you pulled it out so quick and just went after it. You're like, your guys are working till midnight. That is crazy. That is crazy. And I'm like, it's just like making a part for, can't say the name, I almost slept, but for one of the big aerospace companies, Let's make something crazy and then deliver jewelry and have them drool over and just be like, like that satisfaction of knowing that you made this incredible part. It's the same thing. We are making this entire week, and the satisfaction comes because of you guys. Because you guys are getting the deals, you're getting the knowledge, and we're lifting up the trade, all right? Hopefully the cameras keep going back to the machining, because this is about the machining. It's so beautiful. I talked a lot about the deals, but to go a little bit more in depth real quick, I'm gonna bring in my man Dave. He's got some exciting news, and then we'll continue.
All right, so we are gonna get to more deals in a little bit. Right now, we're gonna talk about the next giveaway, right? I told you guys it was coming, and I want to just echo what Titan was just saying, right? If any of you guys remember back in the 80s, and I'm a child of the 80s, I'm born in 79, so you do the math on how old I am. But back in the 80s, there's a company called Vidal Sassoon who had a tagline that said, if you don't look good, we don't look good. Now, I don't have any hair, so I don't use those products, but that's kind of our motto here too, right? So you can take any information that we give you in the building block series, in the rocket, in any of our videos, and like Titan's talking about, when you bank that information, if you don't look good, we don't look good. If people were out there crashing their machines because we gave them improper feeds and speeds, we'd be hearing about it, and we're not. There's nobody out there that's doing that with the feeds and speeds we're giving you on the machines, in the materials, with the coolant, with the exact specs and the exact recipe to that cake that Titan's talking about. The other thing that you don't look good, we don't look good, is these shirts. These are comfortable shirts, and I defy anybody who has one of these shirts to tell me it's not comfortable. And so our giveaway this time, we're gonna be giving away multiple shirts. We're gonna pick 3 winners from our next contest to win a nice Titans of CNC Academy shirt. The way you're gonna enter is in the comments below. You're gonna make fun of my hair. No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna post up your favorite Titan GIF, your favorite Titans of CNC GIF. All you gotta do is go to your keyboard. You guys know how to use the internet. Find that GIF on Jiffy, and no matter if you say it correctly GIF or if you say it incorrectly GIF, we're still gonna let you guys enter. So post that in the comments. There's a ton of them on there. And when we come back for the next episode, episode 3 today, we're gonna show you guys who won, all right? Have some fun with it. All right, I'm gonna bring Titan back in, and he's gonna keep on going on this epic machine. Boom.
Thank you, Dave. You know, one of the things I'll say about the t-shirts is people are always asking, hey, Titan, we love what you're doing for the trade, love your team, man. You guys are like lifting it up. You're bringing awareness. You're bringing free education. What can we do to partner with you? The best way to actually partner with us, everybody can, is simply get the shirt. You'll love it. It'll become your favorite shirt because it's so comfortable. And it's what, 25% off now. And it's made in America, beautiful, but wear it. And when people say, hey, I love that shirt, you say, hey, you know what? Your nephew, your niece, your uncle, your cousin, your grandfather can actually go on and learn CAD, CAM, and CNC absolutely free in this academy. You can learn about manufacturing. You can watch the Titan TV shows, the series where we went into San Quentin to change the game, which is just a remarkable thing, and just learn about manufacturing. So bring that awareness by wearing the shirt. All right, so I got 2 guests, but before I bring in my boy from Mastercam, I'm gonna actually bring in Mr. Tony Burns again. Switching things up.
All right.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good.
Sounds good.
Great to be back.
Sounds good, huh?
It does.
It's good.
You know what some of the owners say when it sounds like this? What's it making right now?
Oh, man.
You
hear that
making
rumble?
money.
You hear that rumble? Kennametal, Harvey 1TE. I feel like I gotta talk like that when I'm like, some people say like, oh, Titan's over the top. I'm passionate about this trade, and I'm like a little kid. You know what I mean? So it's like,
It's a great way to be about it. You
Yeah,
know, these are
good.
assets, right?
Yep.
Just like an Apple stock, right?
Yep.
Let's get the most out of the asset we
Absolutely.
can get out of it.
let's make some money.
Let's make money
Let's push them. Let's actually take care of our families, put food on our tables, take care of our employees, keep the work right here. You've been in this trade for a long time, and
Yes.
you work with some incredible companies and stuff. We don't have to name names, but you know, can you explain like how you see these types of machine tools when you have like the railroads and you have the pallets? Like, how does it change a company? Like a little bit about the philosophy.
Yeah, that's a great question, because you can evolve these into additional pallets, additional machines, and if the customer is proactive and he's getting a lot of work in, he's selling setup reduction, and that's what the extra pallets do. Your pallets are on a rail and they're ready to go once you put the parts on there. How does it change a company? Well, number one, you're going to make more profit because you're not going to have the labor component that's there, 24 hours a day. In a lot of cases, people just have that labor component for a horizontal and a rail system for 8 hours, but yet they run it 24 hours a day. That changes it. It's about cash flow, right? Now you're getting more cash that you can invest in your people, you can invest in your machines, your family, and everything. So I think that's the big driver is that cash gives you an opportunity to reinvest, to push your limits and grow. And if I can take my cost and reduce them, but increase my efficiency, something happens there, right? And depending on the parts you have and the value of those parts, that's going to tell us how much more money you're going to make. And I think a lot of people, people say about horizontal machining centers that they have babies. What does that really mean? Is that few of them buy one machine. They've got a second, they've got a third, because they've noticed that efficiency. They've seen what happens when they run a machine and they want to repeat that. They were like, hey, let's do that again.
I think it's about levels too. You know, you start out in this game and you get a 3-axis mill, you get a 2-axis lathe, you get customers, you bring in inspection equipment based on what parts and applications you're actually doing, what industries you're serving. But as you do that and you solve the right problems, you jump up to live tooling, 5-axis, these things. When you start getting on a level where you're actually working with the big boys, that they need that dependability and the consistency, right? You have the resume, you actually come into that place and you actually bring in these machines, and that allows you to not only perform for the customer, but it allows you to have the resume to get the bigger contracts so you can actually bring in the consistent work. And then it's about, what I really want to emphasize is it's not just buying the machine. Like, it's changing the game of how you think and programming based on the machine, programming based on how you tool it up and make a system where you don't add and subtract, you run off a library, having a system in place where you never have to set the machine up again once it's done the first time, and running efficient so you can be at home, so it can run lights out, so you can actually have confidence in the process, right? And you can do incredible things, like these tools. Like, we understand the data behind them. We understand how many hours they can actually cut. Let's actually put that data into the machine, have multiple tools where we can actually run tool 80 as tool 1 once we hit that mark. So thinking smart. So keep watching the Academy, watch the Aerospace Academy, and we will teach you everything that you guys need to know so you can be successful, so we can put work on our shores and put food on our tables. And if you're in Australia, Brazil, you guys can do everything. And brother, thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you, man.
Driving
This has
up.
been a blast.
It's awesome, man.
Keep it up. Keep the training going, okay?
Woo, that's
That's
what we got to do, right?
All right.
And we got to do big things. Like, let's train on big machines. Let's bring things in for education, because if you want to compete as a country, you need to run the right tools, right?
Run it hard. We're ready.
It's a machine tool.
All right,
brother.
thanks. Have a good one.
So, where are we at, Stuart? Where are we at, Stuart?
We're going through and just starting to get the corners of our last pocket.
Our last pocket is running, and then everything's going to speed up. We're going to start whipping around, even going deeper. It's going to get very exciting. We're going to save that for the 3rd episode of the day. It's going to be amazing. How's Stuart? Hey, let's get Stuart ahead. How you doing, man?
Doing good,
Doing good. So Stuart was on the 5-axis yesterday. He's got a lot of things. It's a job that I program, but I can't be on the machine watching it and talking at the same time, because although I do some crazy stuff and it's boombastic, that's not safe. All right. So Stuart stepped into the pocket last minute basically and said, hey, I'll run that machine for you. I'll proof it out, make sure everything does, nothing happens, and you can go run your mouth, and now, boom, we're making it happen. He didn't say that, but we're having fun, right? So, Stuart, thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
All right. And with that, I'm going to bring in Dylan from Mastercam. Boom.
Hey, back again. What's up, Titan?
How are you, man?
Good, thanks.
So, COVID protocol, of course, we got protocols. You guys can actually see it on our website. But we put a big tent out there, and we spaced ourselves and everything. We only come in a camera like this, right? So we were out there having a talk, and I was just talking about the occasion, how big it is, and what we bit off and stuff. But I was like, it's like racing. It's like this. Like, programmers just have that thing that, like, let's go do crazy things, and then you program these parts, and that's what you get, But a lot of programmers have side things also. So Dylan has been with us for 2 days. I've already spoken very highly of Dylan, but dude, you're in rally racing too, right?
Yeah,
Right?
I do that on
He
the
didn't
side.
know I was going to talk about that, but I've seen his car, like in this little car, like flying through the air and stuff, and I know he makes it happen. So can you talk a little bit about that? What do you do?
Yeah, so, I'm always into challenges and pushing myself and pushing the limits. So, when I'm not working and doing industry challenges, I'm I'm out there racing and going as fast as I can and breaking things and fixing things, and you know, that's just kind of the mentality that I bring to everything is just push it forward.
And then you're using Mastercam to actually make parts for your own car.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, best
like
technology.
sneaking into the machine shop at Mastercam because they have a machine shop, and actually going in there and making it, not trying to tell on you, but you know, making it all happen. So, again, programming. Like, I talk to a lot of machinists, and I'm like, dude, when you step into programming, everything's gonna change because it's your intellect. If it fails or you succeed, it's going to be based on what you bring to the table. And if you make money or you lose money, it's going to be based on the decisions that you made. There's a crazy video, I'm not throwing people under the bus, but there's a crazy video out there on YouTube on Titans of CNC where it says, fire this person. And I'm not trying to be negative, but what I was saying was like, there's a lot of people that stay back and they're old school and they don't want to change. And companies suffer because programmers, you'll have one guy, and whoever the head person is, he will dictate whether you are mediocre or you're great. He'll dictate whether you make money. He or she will dictate whether you make money or you lose money in this game. And it's important as a shop owner to inspire your people and inspire that greatness and inspire whoever that leader is, that they're thinking outside the box. They're looking at the tools, they're looking at the processes, and they're looking at the CAD CAM to make sure that every tool path is absolutely perfect. If you got these guys saying, hey, we're not having issues, we're gonna leave it alone, that's not somebody you want leading your programming department. Because, and I'm sorry guys, but I'm just speaking truth. You want somebody who's constantly pushing that envelope, making it happen, and increasing based on industry technology and stuff. One of the things that we have done is not only bring in 9-axis, not only bring in 5-axis and horizontals and all these crazy machines, but we're on camera. And we really took a place in this industry for legitimacy. Like, we're gonna make real parts. We're gonna teach the real trade. We're gonna do it for free. And with that comes a reputation. And you have to choose the right company. So who we chose for this was Mastercam. And even on this job where we didn't even run a single part before, we just went straight into it. We had confidence because we understood the machine, the work holding, the tools, and the CAD CAM system is perfect, right? I don't want anybody to go out there and just run stuff, but it has to be flawless. The ingredients has to be perfect and stuff. So that right there is Mastercam is our resource. That's what we use, and that's why we're successful, and that's why we're choosing to teach everybody with it, because it's high-level stuff. They also are great in education. And with that, I would love for Dylan, just to, maybe you can just like talk a little bit about, you know, just give me some advice to young programmers. You know, a lot of people look at like Mastercam Mill and they see it, but they don't understand how deep the rabbit hole goes. They don't understand the levels that you have just in Mastercam, right? I mean, this is something that can take years to learn, but we're gonna make it easy because we're making tutorials on everything, and you guys do a great job. But maybe just talk a little bit about Mastercam, like things that you guys are doing, things that people should be aware of, and all that. Just give a little bit of advice to the industry. Put you on the spot.
So, you know, with Mastercam, we deal with, you know, from the simplest prismatic parts up to the craziest contoured 5-axis, you know, mesh parts, you know, as big as you can think of. And the software has to be able to deal with all that. So we need the simplicity to jump in and program this kind of thing for, you know, somebody who's got a rectangular part with a couple holes. But then we need someone like Stuart to be able to step in and do all this crazy multi-axis motion and have an interface that enables it. So that's kind of our bread and butter, right? You know, when we've got a crazy part like this up on the machine, you don't want to be thinking as a programmer, like, how can I make this tool path go around and not break the tool in the part? You want to be thinking about the opportunities that the software is creating, not the limitations of the software. So that's where stuff like our dynamic motion technology comes in, where we're taking, you know, constant step over, constant chip load, and you don't have to think about that as a programmer. And that lets you think about higher level things on how you're going to make this process work and how you're going to succeed. So if you look at a machine like this, you know, this is a really advanced machine, and compared to what machine tool builders were making 20 years ago, it's way ahead. And even tooling is light years ahead of the capabilities of 10 years ago. So you want to be pushing the limits. You want to be riding that wave of technology and go right up to the limit and stay there. And that's where you find success. That's where you create opportunity. And that's our job as a software company to enable that.
It's awesome, man. Boom.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. So it's live, and guess what?
We're done.
We just finished. Oh, I know there's cameras in there, so check out the part. The part is absolutely amazing. Look at those pockets, they're deep. We went straight to the bottom. We came around, big cuts, 200,000s with the Harvey 1TE from Kennametal. Seeing is believing, live on camera, like live, like, you know what, we're gonna just put it out there because it works, the ingredients, the data supports it, and we have confidence in the process, and therefore, right on camera, we're gonna show it to you. Absolutely beautiful. Can we go ahead and open the door?
Yeah.
Let's maybe bring in a camera if we can and actually do a quick scan of just the tool, the part, the chips. Oh man, look at those chips. That's money right there. I joke around because I used to have a parrot, and I bought the parrot with chip money, so we named it Chip Money. So every time I walked in the house, he would be like, chip money, chip money, chip money, and it was a true story. I bought him with titanium chips. Because you cut titanium and then you recycle titanium. Every job shop owner understands that. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we are getting ready to do the next pass, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at how beautiful that is. I haven't even looked at the tool, but I've got experience and confidence. So without even looking at the tool, I'm going to invite the camera. To actually take a look at the tool. Get nice and close. I'm going to come in here and take a look at it. The tool is absolutely perfect. No chips, nothing. It looks brand spanking new, and it just machined all those pockets. And as I said, the data supports the tool. We ramped in, we didn't drill, everybody watched it, we didn't drill. We actually helicaled in, straight into the pocket, and then we cut the whole thing with one tool, the Harvey 1TE. After all those pockets, it looks great. So I'm gonna bring in my boy Dave Cox. But before he comes in, I wanna say, it is 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. At 1 o'clock, we are going to bring in the Harvey 3. We're gonna go deeper and faster, live on camera, and we're gonna get after some material. We're gonna get after it. and it's going to be amazing. And we're just going to show some beautiful machining. And anybody wanting to step up their game to actually do complicated titanium parts, watch this, because you can take these speeds and feeds to the bank and you can be successful. We're teaching you right here live on camera. And with that, Mr. Dave Cox. Oh, so proud of my team. These guys are killing it.
What's up, everybody? All right, I'm looking forward to the next episode, and I know you guys are too. Everybody wants to see this thing go deeper and faster, right? I mean, nobody comes home and is like, hey, babe, you won't believe how shallow and how slow I went today. It was incredible. Let me tell you all about it. So we're going to go ahead and murder some metal on this thing the next episode coming up. What I want to do is give you guys a shout out. I want to give you, the audience, a shout out everywhere you're watching from, right? Everybody right now, you're on Facebook Live, you're watching us on that platform, you're watching us on YouTube on the replay later on tonight, tomorrow morning. But we want you guys to know we have a private Facebook group that is, it's pretty incredible. So it's a very positive place, right? We have kids there, we have students, we have teachers, we have adults, we got machinists, we got business owners, and we have a lot of our partners in those chats as well. And that's a great place where you can come, you can get support in the industry from people who know and from people who are learning. And if you're the shy type and you're like, hey, I don't really get online, I don't really converse a lot, and I don't want to ask all the questions because I kind of feel dumb about stuff, or I don't know what I don't know, that's the time, that's the exact place to go and ask those questions, because you're going to be surrounded by brothers and sisters and friends who say, you know what, I've been right there. I have the experience to help you through it. And they come to you, they come alongside you to help you move forward. They don't come and say, you're an idiot, you don't know how to do whatever, you don't know how to do this. That's a dumb question to ask. They don't do any of that. They go, you know what, I was in your shoes and I understand what it's like to not know and to need the information. So I highly recommend you guys go to that private Facebook group that we have at Titans of CNC Academy and join in with us, okay? It's absolutely free. You hit request, you answer a couple questions, and you're in like Flynn. Cool? My guest, come and join us. Let me remind you guys about Doosan Machine Tools. I'm sure by now you can repeat the promos better than I can. So you know you're gonna go to titansfordoosan.com. You know that you're gonna save 25 to 30% on 65 or more of their best machines, lathes, vertical mills, horizontal mills, all that kind of stuff. What I also wanna remind you guys about is those really cool education packages that we talked about yesterday, right? We talked about the Leo 1600, the 6-inch horizontal turning center. We talked about everything that comes in that crazy package that we put together, right? So it's turnkey, it's plug and play, the machine gets delivered, it gets installed, and you get trained included in that package by your local distributor. So you're gonna have that resource there in your hometown or near to your hometown that can come and help you get everything up and running. And almost every one of our partners helped out with that package. You get the Doosan machine tool, you get the Leo 1600, you get Kennametal's kit, so you can create the rocket toolkit with our education. You're gonna get Blazer's Swiss Lube's coolant starter package. You get the Heimer Centro coax. You get the Michitoyo inspection tools, right? Really cool stuff. Michitoyo, top of their game as far as inspection tools and GD&T and all that kind of stuff. You're getting the best of the best. And you get the Mastercam Educational Suite 1-year subscription with the post processor, and that's the Leo 1600. The other deal that they have on the education things is the mill, right? The DEM 4000. That's the one we actually showed you yesterday with all the tools laid out, a lot of the same stuff kind of in that package, but you get the toolkit to go ahead and build the building blocks. And that's where Titan takes you through from, you can go from literal zero knowledge and you're gonna learn how to do CAD, you're gonna learn how to design the part, you're gonna know it intimately, you're gonna come into Mastercam and you're gonna learn how to program the part, and then you're gonna go onto the machine, you're gonna learn how to cut the part, right? And you're gonna do that through 10 steps and each one builds on the next. So that DEM 4000 is an incredible machining center. It's 22 by 16 envelope. You get a lot of the similar stuff from Heimer, Michitoyo, Shunk, Mastercam, all that kind of stuff, so that you have what you need to get started right away. Amazing training packages. We were just talking with Dylan from Mastercam, and Mastercam stepped up huge with their 20% off offer. So 20% off all of their core products. That's mill, lathe, router, design, everything that they have in the core product suite is 20% off. You can also get 20% off of the education suite, and that has a lot of the same stuff, right? Mastercam for SolidWorks, all those kind of things. So don't sleep on that deal. Go to titansofcnc.com/promo to find out all the specs on that one. I want to give a shout out to guys like John Schaefer at this point, all right? We got some incredible people who are running small groups, the Titans of CNC Academy, small groups all across the nation and all across the world. Honestly, we have over 200 small groups at this point, and people who are getting into small groups, what happens is basically we took this education, this online, this massive thing that we're doing, and we said, you know what, there are going to be people out there who want to learn the entirety of it, but who only have access to their laptop. So all they can do is the CAD and CAM, but they don't have access to a machine. They don't have access necessarily to people in the industry to ask those questions, and the Facebook private group can only go so far. You can't get that hands-on experience. And so our small groups that we created globally are places where shop owners and business people and different shops have opened up their doors and they say, you know what? One day a month on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday evening or whatever day of the week they have free for their machines, they're gonna dedicate this machine, that machine, to the Titans of CNC Academy, and they actually have small groups. They invite you into their shop. They don't have to do this. They're not getting paid for it. So they invite you into their shop. They open up the machine. They show you exactly how to do everything. You can actually run the parts that you've both designed and programmed. So you can have these physical representations of what you now know. And that's a great way to get into this industry. Take us up on all the free stuff we're giving you, honestly. Like, if I had that ability right now and I had the time on my hands and all that kind of stuff, I'd be in there with you guys. So all you got to do, you probably saw the promo that was, or the screen that was up. Go to our site, go to titansofcnc.com. I believe it's /resources, and you're going to find the link to small groups. You can actually look at the map and see what small group is near you. All right? So small groups is pretty amazing. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Tormach, and I haven't said this name yet on these episodes, but Tormach is doing a great promo for us. We have this really cool, you know, speaking of education and speaking of being able to get your hands on into the industry and really understand the basics of these axes and how things work. Tormach has an XS Tech mini router mill. It's this little desktop thing. It's friggin' adorable is what it is. It's got a little plastic cover, and it's everything that you need to know. You can cut plastics, you can cut, I believe, soft aluminum. Don't quote me on that. You can cut wood, all that kind of stuff. But this is gonna be what teaches you a little desktop version of these mills, right? So you can start to understand what's going on. Their deal is $500 off that desktop mill, all right? That's pretty sweet. Again, titansofcnc.com/promo for that one. And coming up later today, this is the last one, I'll let you guys go. Coming up later today, we're gonna be over in the Heimer tool crib. Now, we've alluded to that a little bit. You're gonna get to see a little bit more of it today. We're gonna be talking about quality and all that kind of stuff. So Heimer's doing some crazy deals for this. With 10% off any Heimer machine, that's the Power Clamp Comfort i4.0, that's a shrink fit machine, the Tool Dynamic Comfort Plus Tool Balancer, or the Vio Linear Presetting Tool. Now, I don't know how to say that, but I'm gonna find out for you. 20% off their 3D sensors, and they have that face shield. I'm gonna show you that again later too. They have that face shield for just 20 bucks. All right, so I've seen a lot of the GIFs that you guys have put in the comments. We're actually gonna let that go through the break, and then when we come back at the next episode, we're gonna tell you guys who posted the coolest GIFs. We're gonna pick 3 winners, and you're gonna get this soft shirt. All right, I'm gonna bring Titan back. He's gonna let us know what's going on in the next episode. All right, brother.
Thank you, Dave. Killing it over here. So, next episode, crazy machining. Harvey 3 from Kennametal, the TJGE. You remember the chip splitters I was showing you? We're gonna drop down like 3 times diameter in axial. We're gonna step in, 400 surface foot, boom, chip load 0.0047, and we're just going to cut the rest of this part, just rough everything out. It's gonna be beautiful machining, and stick around. And remember what I said, take the data, bank it, and duplicate it so you guys can be successful also. Again, that's at 1 o'clock live. We're gonna rough everything. And if the tool, like, you guys are gonna know the truth about the tool, and that's why we have so much confidence in these tools. Boom, I will see you guys later. Love you guys, love this industry. I'm excited about this episode right here. And we are officially, what is this? The 11th episode in 1 week. We're in the middle right now, coming on the home stretch. And what are we doing? Big old NHM 6300 horizontal, big aerospace rib, thin walled, getting after it, taking a nice deep cut in axial with a Harvey 3 TJDE. Oh, live on camera. I don't know if people really understand. Like, we're running at 57 inches per minute in titanium at over 2 inches deep, 3 times D, 10% radial, live on camera. And the tool could break, right? But it's not, because you gotta understand the data. You gotta have the experience. You gotta like look at the numbers. You gotta listen to it. And when you find that sweet spot, you just gotta be like, that's it right there. This is really long, so there's a little bit of a squeal to it, but I'm not worried about it, because I can hear underneath. I can hear that, and that's exactly what I want. And I know from experience that we've actually ran a ton of parts at that 400 surface foot, which this is, right? And I want to say 400 surface foot is no joke. Look in the Machinist handbook under titanium, and you will see that they say to cut it at about 175 surface foot. But what we've done is we're actually using a Mastercam OptiRough pass that allows us to peripheral mill. So we're going all the way down, axial in Z, all the way down, and then we're ramping it. Remember what I said, walking into the water from the beach, right? Don't jump off the dock, walk in. So we're coming into the material, we're taking a 10%, and we're just walking all the way around it, boom, boom, boom. The chip load is 0.0047. I would, the range would be like, from low 4s up to maybe 5.3 when you're roughing, and that's what we're getting after. So, for once, I'm not gonna talk through the whole thing. Because I just wanna enjoy the cut, all right? So, right now, I'm just gonna take a break. I'm gonna close my mouth. So, what is crazy is that this part right here, we've never ran before. I programmed it, kind of messed up. I've been so busy getting this whole thing together, so programmed it, got it ready. Literally last night, as I was rushing out, finished it, posted it, gave it to Stuart. Stuart actually got it into the machine and actually volunteered to actually be the guy on the machine while I was talking, and but we didn't run a different part. This is the first part that we're running. Again, understand the tool, have confidence in the tool, understand the process, all the variables, document everything, and trust in it. But I could see he was on like 50% rapid. I said, put it on 100%. I got confidence. I've watched this. I've gone through the simulation in Mastercam. I've watched the tool paths. I've taken nice arcs into that material. I'm not coming in at a 90. I'm coming in nice and gentle. And then because the machine doesn't have huge, like the inches per minute, it goes to like, maybe 470 because it's built for big cuts, right? So we're rapiding because the rapid is actually fast. Wrapping back to position. What do you think, Stuart?
It's good.
So we're proofing out a massive program live in titanium using the baddest end mill on the planet, the Harvey 3 TJDE. It's got the chip splitters, breaks it all up. Oh. I want to remind everybody, can of metal, these tools right here, not this specific TJDE, but like the Harvey 3, the Harvey 3 end mills, the Harvey 1 TE that we did the pocket with, and the Core 5, you can buy them as low as $41. Anybody, we went to Can of Metal, we said we need to get these tools in everyone's hands. We need a crazy low price. Let's look at volume instead. They came to the table, did a Titan discount promo. You can go to titansofcnc.com/promo, and anyone can buy these tools, 41 bucks. And like, we put them against anything. These guys last, we call them, my son nicknamed them the zombie mill because at Inconel 718 hardened for an aerospace job where we were losing. That's when we fell in love with them, because the tool, Harvey 3, came in and went. When everybody else couldn't get past 90 minutes in cut, it went 7 hours. It chipped, we kept going, and it kept cutting, and we named it the zombie mill. That's our nickname. Ooh, that's a lot of material, man. I'm like a little kid, like I love making like cool parts and big parts and getting after it. I love that, not to be like that, but I love the excitement too of doing it live for you guys right now. This is live on Facebook. And when you guys watch it on YouTube or LinkedIn or Instagram, it's still, it was shot live. That way, like, you know, is it legit or is it legit, right? Exact speeds and feeds that we use when we make crazy aerospace parts. You can look at this part. This is a crazy part. This is a beautiful titanium part. We're gonna come out with a YouTube video down the line where we show every tool. We do the surface finishes. You know, like, this is roughing, but then we're gonna relax it. We're gonna come back and we're gonna kiss the baby. We're gonna kiss the baby. We're gonna bring those tolerances right in perfect, right into tense, make it so beautiful. There's a time to rough, there's a time to come back and kiss it right into tolerance. How's my boy Stuart? Oh, Stuart, what's up? Little bit of pressure, live on Facebook worldwide, right?
Yeah.
Got the biggest companies in the world looking at us. Either you make it down the road and make an incredible part, milling, straight up milling for a long time, and you have success, or you fail, live in front of the world. Little bit of pressure. All day though, right?
All day.
Now also, we're having a lot of success, right? But we already talked about it. What do we have? What are the variables? What are the ingredients? We have the NHM 6300, huge torque, huge power, right? The spindle connection, it's a dual contact 50 taper. We got a 3/4 inch Harvey 3 TJDE up in that spindle. Like, that's beast, it's beast, right? But we also gotta think about the work holding. So we got the shunt pallet. And the pallet, actually not the pallet, live on camera, baby. So, and we got the shunt tombstone. It's like a tombstone where the vices are hooked to it, and it flips around this way. Boom, boom, boom. We need something crazy rigid, so we got the shunt tombstone in the machine. So spindle connection, machine, power, boom, right? And then you got the vices locked onto a massive tombstone. Then we got the material, beast piece of titanium. Then we got the correct speeds and feeds and documentation, all that for it to run that tool perfectly. Boom, 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 boom. And then we add in the liquid tool, right? Because if we take, no matter how, you can call it the zombie mill, but if you take that mill and you just go straight into titanium, it's going to become a ball of fire. Believe me, I know, right? So we use Synergy 735, the coolant that I helped test out right from the beginning. It's clear, you know, it's just like to me, it's the best coolant in the history of the world, bar none. We use it in all of our machines and we cut everything with it. And right here, live, you guys are seeing us get after it in titanium with Synergy 735. You see how all the variables work? And then you take it from here, you go to your finishing tools, and then you flip it over and you finish it, and then you take it and you get the Mitutoyo tools, you CMM it, make sure everything's perfect, go through the entire process that is machining to take apart, make it perfect to print, ship it on time, under budget, right? And deliver that part perfectly with an obsession for perfection to your customer to solve their problems so they never want to go to anybody else. And that's because you have your variables, your ingredients dialed across the board. So you can see right now, the part is awesome. It comes out, boom. You got like your 5 pockets. You got some cutouts on the side, and then the center pocket actually comes down, kind of 3D, kind of comes down and stuff. So right now, it's actually, it went around the whole thing, boom, boom. After all the pockets were done, it's coming in, bang, 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 all up inside here. And then it's gonna come on the other side and it's gonna start doing the pocket, they're like pockets, but they're open on the sides. It'll start doing those. Then it'll come to the top and start doing some 3D, you know, 3D work, boom, 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 walking up different sides and stuff, and it'll be awesome. "19 minutes into the cut right now. Straight machining, non-stop. Listen to it. Rewind and go back to minute number 1. It is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It sounds so good. So remember, this is the chip load on this is 0.0047. Surface foot is 400. 400 in titanium. 3 times D axial, 10% radial. Mint. Mint. Sounds great. So I wanna finish this part. I wanna finish the part. So before we start stepping into the finishing of it, meaning the finishing of the roughing, I'm gonna actually bring in Dave, and we're gonna actually talk about a few cool things, and then we're gonna get out of here, and then we're gonna let the machine cut, and it's gonna be beautiful. You can hear it. Look at that. So good. So good, huh?
Yeah, it's music to my ears. And it's music to your ears, because you know when that thing's cutting right, you're making money. You know it's cha-ching, 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 bzzz, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's exactly what you should be thinking. All right, so I'm back, because we're gonna talk about that giveaway, right? Everybody posted their GIFs in the comments, and we have chosen our 3 winners. We're gonna go ahead and throw those up on screen, I believe. You can see which GIFs they chose. So our winners are Walter Fletcher, Chris Lewis, and Miss Courtney Rimaldi. Miss Rimaldi, our teacher. So great job, you guys. Good job picking those GIFs. Thank you everybody for engaging with that and jumping in on there. I got to see some I hadn't seen in a while. You with the boom, boom, boom. Me throwing a shirt over to Jacob. That's some fun stuff, right? We like to have fun. So congrats, you guys. Everybody in the comments, let them know. Say congrats, everybody. Congrats to the winners. All right. Let's talk about the Aerospace Academy, right? We're making big parts. We're not doing it just for fun. We're not doing it so that we can seem cool. We're doing it so that everybody out there who's not currently competing at that level can have the information, can bank the information, and really take an understanding of what it takes to compete, right? On the Aerospace Academy, we're giving you the exact recipes. We're helping you guys through how to quote, that stuff's coming up, how to quote, how to get these jobs in, and how to basically work these things so you're at your maximum efficiency and you can compete on that level of aerospace and anything up through general manufacturing, general engineering, up to aerospace. So check out the Aerospace Academy at aerospaceacademy.com. We're standing in front of a beast machine, right? And these Doosan's are 25 to 30% off. These are select markets only. So this is the US right now, and that's on over 65 of their models. You can go ahead and get the vertical mills, horizontal mills, and lathes. Everything's in stock, ready to ship. You're gonna go to titansfordoosan.com, and you're gonna go ahead and fill out their little form, and then you're gonna get all the information. You're gonna see exactly what the savings are on all those different models so that you can go ahead and make that purchase decision. Don't forget, this is episode 11, and that officially means we're past the halfway point. So you might be running out of time to catch these deals. They're not gonna last forever. Make sure you get in on them, all right? The other thing what Doosan's doing is they got that free custom Gerstner. You order a machine, you get the Gerstner. We're also giving ours away in the raffle. Check them out. Blaser Swiss Lube. Again, when you're cutting titanium, you need to have that Swiss, you need to have the coolant on there. Make sure that you're using that flood coolant to make sure you can keep everything cool. 20% off all the coolants, cutting oils, grinding oils, etc. 20% off the cleaners and accessories. And the most important part, the free liquid tool analysis. All right? They're gonna come in, they're gonna walk with you through the process of what you're trying to accomplish, and they wanna get you the exact right coolant, the exact right cutting oil, exact right grinding fluid for your application. So, Blaser's deal is at blaser.com/boombastic. Blaser.com/boombastic. And I'd be remiss if I didn't address the Titans of CNC Academy. I've learned a lot It's a low, low price, $2,000 a year to join our academy at Titans of CNC. What's that? No. Why would they do it for free? No, that's insane. You sure? Okay, so I was just told the Titans of CNC Academy is absolutely free apparently. I don't know who I've been paying, but when you go to academy.titansofcnc.com, you're gonna see everything that we have. All the different things that we have, different educational series. You're gonna learn everything from the basics, stoning a table, setting up your machine, turning it on, fundamentals of GD&T and measurement, all the way through the building blocks, the rocket series, all that kind of stuff. So check out the free Titans of CNC Academy and learn how to do cool stuff, all right? The next thing up is the Kennametal offer. So the $41 for the 3/8 inch end mills, the $56 for the 1/2 inch end mills, Core 5, Harvey 1 TE, and Harvey 3. We've been talking about them the entire event, and there's probably a reason for that. Okay, these are our shop standards, our ultimate standards. So make sure you're getting some of those, even if you're just trying them out. Try them out, test them, and see what they do for you guys in your shop. You're gonna get that at titansofcnc.com/promo to find those details. And again, Shunk, right? Shunk is doing that amazing Impact Series Claw Jaws offer where it's 30 days. Try them, and if you don't like them, send them back. So make sure you take Shunk up on that offer, because again, when you're going through big material like this, super heavy, and your machine is rigid, you want to make sure you have something really, I mean, it's an Impact Series Claw Jaw. That's a pretty significant name. They're not calling it like the soft bunny kind of holder, right? It's the Impact Series Claw Jaw. Grab that at titansofcnc.com/promo. And lastly, I want to talk to you guys about Titans, all of our social channels, right? You're gonna see these up on screen. We're on Facebook, just like you guys right now. We're on YouTube. You guys know about YouTube, little video site that people go to. We're on Instagram and LinkedIn. So anywhere you go, whatever platform you like the best, we're there with this content so that you can share it to all of your friends, all of your coworkers, all your followers, people that you influence, and you can just share all the really cool stuff that's going on. So make sure you check out all of our social channels. And lastly for me, we are doing, as we spoke about earlier, we're doing a giveaway for everybody who's watching us on YouTube. So every day we're taking all the content that we created throughout all 4 episodes and we're cutting it together, and that goes up the next day on YouTube as kind of a recap replay. So people are loving it, and YouTube, this is for you guys alone. What you're gonna do is in the comments below this video, just let us know, how has the YouTube channel helped you? How has our channel helped you guys out? Did you learn something new for your professional life? Did you learn something new for your personal life? Did we help you with something that you can go now and talk to your boss about something? Also, let us know what video of ours you like best. Just go ahead and link it in the comments below, and we're gonna choose a winner, and I'm gonna give you guys a pretty dang cool swag bag, all right? So check it out on YouTube. Make sure you join that giveaway. And next up, these guys are gonna finish this part. We're gonna keep on going on it. I'm excited to see what happens.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
That was awesome.
You got it.
Boom. So, 27 minutes, straight cutting, 400 surface foot, chip loads 0.0047 in 6AL4B titanium, aerospace grade. Oh, the part is looking beautiful. It's looking beautiful. So now it's just doing some small little cuts, just taking care of the small things, and then it'll get back to getting after it. So when you actually look at a machine like this, NHM 6300, you know, you're looking at the pallet size, right? And of course, the workspace is actually much bigger. But that pallet right there, that tombstone, I keep saying that tombstone That tombstone is massive, and you got 2 vices locked on there. But look at the material. The material is actually bigger, right? It's a beast part, and it's awesome because at the beginning of this today, all we had was a block of material, just a raw piece of material. And now you can actually see an aerospace part emerging, made out of titanium, made, Rockland built, Rockland, California, built and machined right here live on Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna shut up, I'm gonna be quiet. Let's look at it again. You know what it's just doing right now is just doing the intricate work, just working the details. A lot of the big roughing has already been completed. We still have to do some roughing on the corners and stuff, and looks amazing. Just going to keep the cameras going, keep watching the process, just take this part home. know, one thing I'll say is I can't stress the fact enough. It's all about the variables. If you look at the tool path, you'll see that I'm taking a nice arc right into that material. And that's why you don't hear like when I enter the material. It's just like boom, boom. So gentle. It's just about bringing that arc, like just gliding right into that material, into the cut, and doing the same thing when you come out. When I come out, because I want a smaller tool path, I have a smaller out, but it's a gradual out, and that's why you don't hear any banging on that tool path. It's very, very important when it comes to tool life. People look at tools lasting, but you gotta think, like when you have a tool like that, you have to you gotta come in, you gotta understand the cut, you gotta understand the parameters, and you just gotta give it its best shot. A lot of people wanna use regular end mill holders and do a side set screw or something. We use a Hydroforce from Kennametal. It holds it secure and true. Once you push it to the side, it's banging a little bit. You know, even a gradual bang when it comes to advanced manufacturing is bad. So it's just all the small little details in manufacturing. What's up, everybody? This is Titans of CNC, and we're live at the BOOMBASTIC show. Oh, it's like the last event on the third day. It's a crazy marathon, but crazy knowledge, crazy CNC machining, and crazy deals happening right now. So I'm excited because I can relax now, because I don't know if everybody understands. Like, we were on the NHM 6300 running a big old piece of titanium. If you didn't see it, look at the last event, like event number 11, actually 10 and 11, because it was crazy. So we're running it live and actually just getting after it, and it was a lot of material, and something could have happened, right? But nothing did, so that's why I get to relax now. But nothing happened because I understand the technology and the variables. I've been in the trade for a long time, and I don't take chances, right? As a programmer, I document everything. I double check my surface foot and my chip load. I measure and the distance of time when an end mill is in cut and how long it's going to last. And I set it up for success, and I teach all my team to set things up for success. We have to have quality, not only quality in the work piece for inspection to ship to our parts. We have to have quality from the very moment we put the machine on the floor, to everything that we do through the entire process, to grabbing our tools, to how we put our tools into the holders, to keeping the tool true, right? All of it matters. It all matters, all the different variables. And that's why I'm excited, because in this episode, the last episode of the day, we did a lot of machining. Now we're gonna talk about quality. And we're gonna talk about quality at the beginning of this session in our new Heimer tool room. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, it's so awesome. So what is really cool, if I can just show you something, boom, you can open it up. Your tool holders are right here. We got all different sizes. We got drawers for the tools, and you simply come over, boom, boom, put your tools in. Might be into a collet, but at the end of the day, like an ER32. Or we might do a shrink fit, right? Where you're actually heating up and retracting and putting a tool in and making it absolutely perfect. You're balancing and then presetting. It's an incredible technology. It allows you to have a perfect setup so you can have success, right? So we're taking things to another level. And in this, that's what it's about. It's not just a fancy tool room. It's a process of putting perfection and quality into how you build out your tools. And today I got a special guest. And my guest, this guy, Steve, he is amazing. I've known him for, 30 years? I haven't known him for 30 years, but he's been in the industry for 30 years. See, we're live, right? So he's been in the industry for 30 years, but I go to different shows, different places. We always talk. And even if we weren't partners, he's always coming up and saying, I love what you're doing for the trade, love what you're doing for education, and I'm like, dude, I love your company. You guys stand for quality. And just recently, we became partners. So Heimer is actually a partner of ours helping us give free education to you, all right? So I want to introduce Steve. What's up, brother?
How you doing, Titan?
Good.
Thank
How
you
are
very
you,
much
man?
for having us.
Boom. So we got everybody out there. You're live. Just a little bit of pressure, right?
Just a little bit.
But you know what's cool? You got a great product
Thank you very much.
that you have confidence in, right?
Absolutely.
And I got confidence in you because it is an amazing product, and I'm proud to put our name on it and to show it off and stuff. So, one thing that I like talking about people, right? Because the industry is about people. But Steve, you started out actually making tools, right?
That's right. I actually started out making solid carbide coolant-fed cutting tools. After that, I was a machinist for several years, running horizontal machining centers, vertical machining centers. Had a lot of experience making hydraulic manifolds, actually.
That's awesome. So you understand the entire process. So when you're
Absolutely.
actually looking at setting up a tool, you know how the tool's made, you know all of it, and you know what the machinists need on the machines, right?
Absolutely. In
Awesome.
fact, as a former machinist, you learn the hard way, right? Everything is about consistency of setup, and everything that you see in the Heimer tool room is about consistency of setup. When you own a job shop or you work in a job shop, your goal is to make the part better and faster than the shop down the street, okay? When you talk about a cost of a shop, 50% of all cost is machining time, 30% is general, 15% is material, 4% is cutting tools, 1% is tool holders. What Heimer does is gives you the solutions so you can cut that machining time down. If you can make more parts per hour, you're making more money.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So today we're just gonna take a few minutes, and we're introducing Heimer. We're showing you the tool room, but we're not going too in depth. Tomorrow we're gonna actually do a demo on actually what shrink fit is and how to actually do it, and then how to actually go and balance the tool perfectly so you have perfect results, right? And you give yourself the best chance at success. So today, Steve, if you would just walk around and just show them a few things in the tool room and let them know what we're gonna be doing tomorrow, because tomorrow, tune in, because it's gonna be amazing. Again, we're not just bringing deals, and crazy machining. We're bringing wisdom to your mind so your skill level can go up. Not everybody's ready for shrink fit, but you should know how it works. So when the opportunity arises and comes, you can figure out how to run lean and how to set everything up so your machine tool just runs, it never stops, and you set up the tools while it's running. That's the trick to have consistent work in this industry. So I'm gonna step away. Go ahead, brother. Boom.
One more thing to add as I walk over here, Heimer really believes in educating the next generation. As a matter of fact, Heimer in Germany has over 50 apprentices this year in our facility. We're still very much a family-owned company with over 800 employees worldwide. So Heimer is the worldwide leader in inductive heat shrink technology. The idea of an inductive heat shrink machine is we're going to heat up a holder very quickly. The ID expands, we put the cutting tool in, and then it grabs the cutting tool with best-in-class gripping torque and best-in-class run-out accuracy. We have over 30 different configurations of inductive heat shrink machine. Also, we have the Heimer Microset presetter line. We have over 20,000 presetters installed worldwide. Again, it's about consistency. With a presetter, you're checking height, run-out, diameter outside of the machine so that the operator can very quickly set up the machine tool. Again, if you're reducing downtime of the machine tool, you're maximizing uptime, you're making more parts per hour. Again, we'll have a demonstration on the Heimer Microset presetters tomorrow. Over here on the side, we have the Heimer Tool Dynamic Balancing Machine, okay? Heimer is the worldwide leader in tool holder balancing technology. Not only is our balancing machines accurate, but they're extremely easy to use. We can balance in one plane or two planes. very quickly. When you have unbalance in a tool holder assembly, you create centrifugal force. Centrifugal force creates vibration. That vibration can only go two places, up into your spindle or down through your cutting tool into your part. So you could see surface finish issues, cutting tool life issues, or the spindle bearings of the machine tool may not last as long as you would expect because of that vibration. The only way to reduce vibration caused from unbalance is to verify that your assembly is balanced. So, Titan, have you done a lot of balancing in your career so far?
You know, we've definitely touched balancing, and I understand the brilliance of it. When it comes to the academy, we haven't done it because we want to teach from the bottom level, the fundamentals, all the way up. But now that we're into the Aerospace Academy, aerospaceacademy.com, our free academy, now that we're going to the top level, now it's time to come in and bring in the top level technology across the board, all variables. And something that was like money right there, because something that he said is so true. And it's like, this is just a fact. You can have a balanced tool holder for like a shell mill, right? But all of a sudden you're taking a shell mill and you're taking a bolt and you're popping that on that balanced tool holder. And what do you think happens? It's not perfect, right? And all of a sudden you're machining and you're seeing these lines in your cut and you're like, oh, it's good. It's pretty good. It's the best that I can get, and you live with it. But what you learn is, once you start balancing, you take that same holder, you take that same shell mill, you pop it on there, and then you actually put it into a balancer, and you balance it absolutely perfect, and you run the same speed and feed, and the surface finish is a mirror compared to where it used to be. So I absolutely do know and understand balancing in that, but there's a time and a place to bring it. Not everybody's ready for it, not everybody has the money, but as you rise through the levels of manufacturing, it becomes more and more important, especially when you start going lights out machining and you don't want to like stand there and just double check everything. You got to know, like we did earlier, machining titanium, you got to know that you're going to have success, and that's why this is important. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you very much.
You did good.
And also, this is the Heimer tool room for complete tool storage, so you can store all your tools and all your cutting tools in the tool room. And again, we're gonna have a full demonstration of all this equipment tomorrow.
Awesome, awesome. Boom, Heimer in the house right here at Titans of CNC. And at this time, I wanna bring in my man, Dave, and Dave's got deals. Deals.
Here it comes. All right. So not only is this the dopest tool room in the game, this is the dopest face shield in the game. I mean, this thing is crystal clear, gives great protection, pulls right up out of the way when you don't want it, flips right back down. You can do this is an advanced move. I learned this off camera, and you're ready to go. All right? So, no hands necessary. Making a tool, doing the thing. Oh, protected. All right. So that's what you can do with the face shield. That face shield's only 20 bucks. During the show, $20. That's a significant savings, and that's per piece. So comfort fit, nice band, everything is replaceable. You can replace the shield, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna find out about that deal at titansofcnc.com/promo. The other thing Heimer did is they stepped up big time on their 3D sensors. That's the Heimer Universal 3D sensor in the inch and the Heimer Centro coaxial. So those are 20% off, and if you guys have bought those before, you know that's a great savings, all right? The other thing that Heimer's doing is 10% off any of these machines. So that's the shrink fit, tool balancing, or presetting. All those are 10% off, and you can grab those at titansofcnc.com/promo to find out the specs on that deal. And I gotta say, I'm super jealous of this tool room. I don't have enough tools to fill it up at my house, but I'd love to just pull my car in, have this at home, be protected with my face shield, like whatever it takes, right? All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and throw it over to Titan again, and he's gonna come on back.
You know, one thing that I'll say about the face shields, they're amazing. We've been, of course, utilizing them here at the shop. I just like when I'm speaking on camera, I just want to be nice and clear, right? But of course, we have a COVID protocol in place, and we're doing everything the way we need to do it. One thing I want to say is this guy is actually rated for the shop. So it's actually similar to actually having shot glasses. So they actually went and got a really good quality lens on here, and therefore you don't have to have shot glasses. You can have like regular glasses, and you can put this thing over, boom, and it's just easy, and I love how you lift it up. We live in a day and age where we all have to keep safe. We've got to protect our workers, and this is the best one that I have ever seen right here, and at $20, it's super good. And then you can literally just take off the screen, flip it, grab another one, put it on, and just keep it clean, and hey, it's super awesome. So, all right, so for the second half of this event, I'm excited because we're gonna go over to our inspection room. We're talking about quality. We're talking about putting quality into the process. We're talking about taking parts and it's setting up from the tooling and the machine and everything quality oriented right through the process and then to the final inspection. And for that and some more discussion on that, we're gonna go over to our quality room with Travis Jarrett, my awesome quality manager. I'm proud of my guys. Aren't they performing well this week? Travis, it's all you, brother.
Hey everybody, Travis with Titans of CNC, and here we are back in quality. And now we're gonna talk about, well, quality, right? We're not gonna do some demos for you like we did. We know we showed you some equipment the last couple days, but today we're just gonna talk about sort of quality in general, right? In your shop, what does it look like? What value does it bring, right? What are the tools of the trade, all right? So here I have Jeremy with me from Mitutoyo, and we're gonna start with that. How you doing, Jeremy?
Doing great.
Great, great. We're gonna start with that, the tools of the trade, right?
Yes,
we
sir.
saw a couple pieces of equipment yesterday. Here we got a bunch of different items up here. You wanna talk a little bit about what we have?
Yeah, so talk a little bit about the tools of the trade. You know, machinists, they have their mills, drills, lathes. You know, in the inspection lab, we have our hand tools, our CMMs. So we'll go ahead and get started. So this is a caliper. Basically, we're gonna use this for simple measurements. Most people are familiar with these.
For sure. If you've machined a part, hopefully you've used a caliper.
Hopefully, absolutely, absolutely. So lengths, width, that's good. Now, as you're looking for higher accuracy, maybe you want to measure a diameter, 10 times more accurate, micrometer, right? So higher resolution, higher accuracy, and then the next step up of that is like our MDH. It's once again higher accuracy. So this is 10 times better than a caliper. This is 10 times better than the mic.
Okay, pretty accurate.
Absolutely.
Accurate. Yep.
So now you're moving up. You want to measure some heights. You want to measure some depths. Drop a pin in a part, measure how high it is, how deep it is. So you'd use a height gauge with maybe that test indicator there,
Yeah,
right?
nice.
Also, we have an SJ unit. So if you wanted to measure surface finish, you know, it's
Really
common on
important in
many-
the aerospace industry.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. So we have a 211 here mounted to the height gauge. We can measure surface finish, skidded measurement with that. Now, if you want to measure something a little more advanced, maybe a little advanced features like center to center distance,
Yeah.
we can use a linear height gauge. Once again, very accurate.
Yeah.
Allows us to measure the complex features.
Gotcha.
You know.
Instead of dividing a pin in half kind of thing, using a drop gauge. You know.
Exactly. Just use the functions on the device to get the complicated
Nice,
stuff
nice.
for you. Yep. And then, of course, the next step would be into 2D measurement, maybe non-contact. We talked about the profile projector yesterday.
Yeah.
We talked about the quick image yesterday.
Yeah, what was it Mike said, 40-something
46 dimensions and half as many seconds.
Oh man, that'll make you think.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, a little math for you there at the end of the day. So yeah, and then the next step from there is a CNC CMM like that MyStar 555,
Yeah.
like we showed on Monday.
Nice, and you know, I see some gauge blocks here, so I think I just want to kind of touch on how do I know these gauges are good? I mean, what am I actually putting my trust in?
Well, of course, they're Mitutoyo gauges, so you know they're good,
Nice,
right? But
yeah.
everything's got to be traceable, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you get your gauge blocks certified, they're NIST traceable, and then as you calibrate your gauges back to the gauge block, you have traceability, so that you have faith in the measurements that you're taking
That's
in
what
this
matters,
lab.
faith, right?
Yep.
Faith, right? So we have a lot of tools right here, but I got to ask, right? I mean, it's almost a little intimidating, right? I see a lot of money right here. I see hundreds of dollars. I see thousands of dollars. You know, CMM, that could be a small truck, you know, or something like that, you know? So, I mean, how do you get into quality, right? I mean, this looks like a large investment.
Well, it's like everything else, a step at a time, right? So most people, they start out, they've got a caliper. They're using the caliper to measure their parts, simple as they come out. And then it really depends on the application. As you have the need for something a little more accurate, or maybe it's something a little more complicated, then you take the next step at a time. And then
Nice.
before you know it, you've got a lab full of equipment.
Yeah, no, I know Titan talks about that, right? Life is steps, manufacturing is steps, inspection is steps.
Yes.
You know, so that's nice. So we have the tools of the trade. We have a plan to slowly implement those tools into our manufacturing process. So what's the value though, right? I mean, I see all this, but what does quality actually bring to my manufacturing operation?
Right. So everybody, wants return on investment, right? So when you buy a new mill, manufacturing, machining centers, the manufacturing, they make parts, they make money. The quality, the gauges, they save you money.
Nice,
right?
nice. Yeah, I know everybody likes to save money. Maybe we can go into that a little bit. How am I saving money?
Right, so the way we save you money is, so you make these parts, we have this nice aerospace part here. Of course, you want to make it to print. If it's not to print, when you do your inspection and it doesn't meet specification, it has no value. You can't sell that part.
Well, that's everything, right? I mean, I've said it before. It doesn't matter how expensive your machine is. It doesn't matter the tool pass, all that stuff. You could have the best equipment out on the floor, but if you're not meeting these requirements, you have a first article inspection report here, which, by the way, you can find in our academy, Aerospace Academy. You can find all these documents. If you're not meeting this, right, if you're not making this part to print, you've made nothing, right? You have absolutely nothing of value.
Exactly, exactly. So the machining center makes the chips, and then this saves you the money, right?
Yeah.
And then making sure that the part's sellable.
Nice, nice.
Something else is as each operation comes along, you check the parts in each operation, and that way you make sure that you're only adding additional machining costs to a good part, right? You don't want to take a part that was bad in Op 10 and continue to machine it.
Nothing like doing the Op 4, 5, 6 on something that's been bad from Op 1. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that saves you scrap, right? So it reduces the amount of scrap you have, reduces the amount of rework, and that saves you material and time.
Saves you money in red tags. Right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. They go a lot further.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Okay, all right, so we've reduced our scrap. All right, we've had these immediate effects, right? We're making sure our parts are print. Are there any benefits, maybe a little bit down the road, right? Is there anything quality can do to help inform our process looking forward?
Yeah, I mean, long term, there's always continuous process improvement activities. That's a whole deep subject, but just, real quick example is accurate tool life, right? So, your vendor tells you how many cuts you should get on this tool, and
At 10,000 SFM? Just kidding, love you tool guys.
So you know what you're expecting, but in the real world, you need to know what you're getting. Maybe that diameter is still coming in good, but the surface finish is going out.
Yeah.
Right. So by measuring the parts for diameter, by measuring them for surface finish, and logging all that information, we can get a good idea of how long that tool is going to last. And then when we go to quote another job, a similar job, then we can give an accurate quote. And that way, that quote will be more profitable when we actually make those parts.
For sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all like making parts, but we all need to keep the lights on. We all need to get paid, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a good information to have. Well, nice. So, I mean, I think an important thing we want to cover, right? So when people think of quality, sometimes there's this idea of quality, right? We have some guy back in the corner or something like that in the inspection lab rejecting everybody's parts kind of thing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, where do you really want to see quality in a shop?
Well, really, quality is everybody. It's everywhere. So when they make that first cut on the first machine, the operator takes that part and he checks it himself. That's his check, his quality check. He takes pride in making that part. He should take pride in measuring that.
So machinists, you're inspectors too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then it goes every step along the way. So everybody that does an operation on that part, whether it's an actual measurement or it's a visual inspection, every step along the way is quality.
And that's where you should see quality, right? I mean, we should see quality from when that material comes in, to the saw operator, to the machinist, all the way to shipping, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, what's the first thing the customer sees, right? They get a box from you, they open it up. If that's a mess, how does that reflect your operation?
Exactly.
Right? So quality is more than inspection. Quality is a process. Quality is a lifestyle, right? Something that you want to see in all aspects of your manufacturing operation.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Jeremy. Thanks a lot. And thank you guys for joining us today on our little quality adventure here. Now we're going to go ahead and we're bringing in Titan. All right, Titan's going to come on in here.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I love how Travis just talked about the box, right? Because as machinists, as we rise up, and shop owners, we rise up and we get our customers and stuff. I think it's important not to just make incredible parts, but for the whole process through the beginning, as he mentioned, to the box. Now, I want to give a little bit of advice right here and tell a little story. One thing that I have learned, we've learned, Travis, he's asking a lot of questions, but this guy is a beast, and he's helped me solve many problems in the aerospace industry. And one thing that I quickly realized was, if you don't give the quality and you don't perfect the inspection process, and you give that part, well, that part's going to go to your customer, right? And it might make it out there on that floor, and they will have a problem with it. And at the time that they have a problem with it, you will have a team of engineers called, and you have a team of leaders called, and you will hold up a production line, and they will all be looking at your part, speaking your name, and talking about what you did. Later on, when you fix the problem, they're never going to come back and say, oh, Thank you. And all those people will never, but your entire reputation will be ruined because of that one part. So as a shop owner, we need to understand that we need to inspire our machinists, everybody that works for us to actually do exactly what these gentlemen just said. Take quality through the whole process. As a shop owner, when I come out, I want my tables dialed. I want them clean. I want my, like, not to be like that, but I don't have chairs in my shop, right? I want the machines clean. I want everything dialed, and I want perfection. And as we go through the process, I want to make sure that what we put our parts on, we don't slide them, we set them down. We bring foam in once we have a second part, the second operation is done, and that we have solved all of the problems to be successful. So that is my advice right there, is make sure the entire process, you guys are looking at the quality, and remember this, you want people at the company to look at the part and call people over, not because there's a problem, but because they're amazed at the jewelry. I love when they say that, the jewelry that you created. And it's beautiful, it meets spec, and what really matters is every dimension is perfect in tolerance, and therefore they have confidence. And even when somebody underbids you, you will still get the work because they understand that getting consistent work that is perfect to the spec is more important than saving $1 when it comes to high-level machining. And boom, so good. Thank you very much, brother.
My pleasure, brother.
We'll back out, and we're bringing back in Dave with deals.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. So I'm standing back here. You guys good with that? Perfect. So let's talk about some more deals, right? And I love what these guys were just talking about as far as quality goes. You've seen the lower thirds. You've seen my name, Dave Cox. What is my title? I'm a branding guy, okay? I get branding, I get marketing, all that kind of stuff. Your brand needs to be tied to quality. How you relay that brand to the public is how they speak about you. So if they're seeing quality in your workmanship and the parts that get delivered, when they come and visit your shop and they see, like Titan said, everything is in straight rows. No detail is left unchecked. And that's not just one person's job. Sure, one person might be responsible for it ultimately happening at the end of the day, but if you can instill that in everybody that you have in your shop, and people are walking around and they see a Coke can sitting there, so they shake it. Oh, it's empty. I'm going to toss that. That's quality. They see something out of place. They see a rag that's usually used to wipe something down, and they go, you know what, that one's dirty. I'm going to grab a new one, put it over there. That's quality. It goes throughout the entire organization when it's done right. Okay, so make sure you guys are paying attention to what they said because it's important. So the other thing that's important is deals, right? Deals. So Michitoyo, we talked about how expensive these things can be, but they want to bring that price down because they know everybody needs these tools and needs these inspection tools to keep that quality. So like we talked about the other day, that shop floor CMM, the MyStar 555, that's up to $12,000 off. I mean, that's crazy deals. So up to $12,000 off. And the quick image with the motorized stage, right? We saw not the comparator, we saw the quick image the other day. And that one's up to $9,000 off. So you know what's great is saving money. You know what else is great is taking that money that you saved and continuing to invest it. So the other thing they're doing is up to 35% off their precision tools and instruments. So what I'd be doing is if I had money for the MyStar 555 and I'm saving 12 grand, I'd turn right around and put that right back into 35% off some more precision tools. So I can start to build out my library of elements that I have to help me with that kind of thing. So check out the Michitoyo deals at titansofcnc.com/promo, and you can find out more about that. I want to mention again our private Facebook group. So a lot of you are watching on Facebook right now. You're watching us live through our page, through our event page, and we're going to go ahead and put a link in the comments so you can see exactly how to get to our private Facebook group. And again, that's that extremely positive place on Facebook where you get to ask questions freely. You get to be open and honest about what you're struggling with. You're going to help people. If you're somebody who's at this level and there's somebody down here asking a question, we want you to jump in and help them out. And if you're the person who has the question, there are people who've been there that are going to help you. So check out that private Facebook group. Make sure you connect with us. We'd love to see you and talk with you. Doosan, We've heard about Doosan's deal. We know they're 25 to 30% off all these massive machines, all the way down to the smallest machines that they have. And those deals are going on only in Americas. And you're going to go to titansfordoosan.com to put in your information and see exactly what savings is on the machine you're looking at. And that's on vertical mills, horizontal mills, also their lathes. They have the training packages. You guys know about those. We're going to be revisiting those tomorrow, actually. We're going to be cutting apart on the DEM 4000. We're going to be cutting one of the Titan building blocks on that. So that's going to be pretty impressive to watch. And you'll get to learn about that training package and how you can bring that into your shop, you can bring it into your education facility and help people compete at a higher level. And then for Tormach is coming up tomorrow as well, right? So even in that educational series part, we're going to be talking about this desktop mill, this XS Tech desktop CNC mill, and Tormach is doing $500 off of that thing. So you're going to get to learn right at home. Another great place to kind of put that in action is in a makerspace, right? You guys might not know this, but Titan actually made a makerspace for his kids. So he's in there with his kids. It's called Makerspace 77. We will link that in the comments as well on the YouTube page. And you can see how you can take this and start this passion that you have in your kids. Start to transfer that knowledge so that they understand, oh, wow, mommy, daddy, I love what you do. I want to do that too. I'm very interested in that kind of stuff, right? We have to start fostering this STEM education. We have to start fostering their interest in manufacturing because that's how we keep this going in America and in your own country. Lastly, I want to remind you guys that when this goes up tomorrow on YouTube, we're doing a giveaway just for you YouTube viewers. So all you got to do is in the comments below the YouTube video on YouTube is put, how have we helped you? How has the YouTube channel helped you? Has it taught you something professionally? Has it helped you personally have more confidence? What is that thing? It's a simple comment in the bottom. So that's what we have. I'm going to bring Titan back to let us know what's coming up tomorrow.
Thank you, brother. So we are at the end of the third day. That's crazy. What is that? What is that? 12 episodes. It's like a marathon, 12 episodes. And tomorrow I'm excited. One, because I'm just going to talk a little bit and make Travis do all the work. But on the first episode, we're actually going to the Puma 2600 SY2. And we're going to run a real part. And this is an aerospace part that just like many that we actually ran for years and got paid for. We're gonna go through the whole process. We're going to show you how to actually make that. And Travis is gonna go in depth into the setup, the tooling, and running it efficiently where you can just duplicate the process and you can actually go make money yourselves and put food on your own tables. It's gonna be an incredible journey. Besides that, we have a lot, as Dave mentioned, we got Tormach in the house, we got the Doosan education machines, the training packages, we got everything happening tomorrow, so tune in at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Boom, the Boombastic Show. We are out. Love you guys, love this trade.